So I've been really retreating into myself lately, in a good way, but because I've been doing that, I haven't been filming a lot. I'm gonna overlay some of the footage that I have from this week from the painting that I've been working on, but I really just wanted to talk about some of the things I've been consuming lately and some of the things that have been inspiring me. So I'm still on this no TikTok life. I'm still doing my post and ghost thing, which has been great. I have no interest in returning to TikTok now, if I'm being completely honest, which is something I never thought I would say. When I first got off the app, all I could think about was a time when I could just get back on the app, and now that I've been without it for so long, I just feel like I just don't care anymore. That being said, I've allowed myself a little bit more freedom with Instagram. I've been doing a 30-minute scroll in the morning before I do my morning pages, and it's been fine. Other than that, I haven't really been on it too much. I don't think that I'm at a stage in my life where I'm fully ready to get rid of social media. I think maybe one day I would do something like that, but I think it would be something I would do when I'm like old, you know? I think it's just really important that I have a good relationship with social media right now, which I do, I think. So, you know, we're achieving our goals. I've still been really into reading lately. It's given me so much joy. I've heard a lot of people talk about annotating books and how they annotate books, and I just wanted to try that out. For those of you who don't know what annotating is, it's just basically like a fancy way of saying note-taking. So if you want, you can add your own explanations in the margins, or make comments or ask questions directly into your book, or if you want, you can put them on sticky notes. Like, it doesn't matter. I think it's nice that there's just so many different ways to do it and no way is right. I've noticed for me that by annotating, it's been easier for me to retain the information that's in the book because I'm engaging with the book. The two books I'm reading right now, or I should say I'm not reading this anymore because I finished it last night, but I've been reading She Came to Stay by Simone de Beauvoir. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong, and if I am, that's embarrassing. It was a really good book. I genuinely enjoyed it. For those of you who don't know, Simone de Beauvoir was a French existentialist, philosopher, writer, social theorist, and feminist. That's from Wikipedia. She did a lot. I think people say that this book is loosely based on a relationship that she actually had. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what people have been saying. It kind of explores her and her boyfriend having an open relationship with another woman. Almost all of it is told from her perspective. There's two other characters that are outside of this relationship that they do share their insights, and we hear from them from their perspective in the book, which is pretty cool, but never from the other two people in the relationship. So it always kind of keeps you guessing what these other two people are actually thinking. Look at my cute little bookmark. It's a hot dog walking a dash hound, and I just think that that's cute. It's magnetic, so it snaps into place and it makes that really satisfying sound. I like that. I'm into that. I've also been reading The Second Sex. I don't have it here. I'm gonna go get it. It's also by Simone de Beauvoir. It's dense. I think it's over 500 pages. I tried reading it a long time ago, maybe like 10 years ago, and I just could not understand it. There's a lot of talk in the beginning about animal biology, and there was just so many words I didn't know. This is my second attempt at reading this book, and I am committed now to finishing it. So I'm definitely gonna finish it. It's just, I think it's gonna take me a while to get through. I don't remember where I heard this, so I am so sorry, but I heard that it's good to pair books together. So pairing a fiction and a nonfiction book together will help your brain actually remember the content of the books, because your brain needs kind of like a story to attach the information to. Those were kind of my pairings that I put together. I have two other books that I'm interested in reading. I don't know if I'll read them next or not, but these are my next two pairs that I want to read together. So I have The Light Eaters. This is about plant intelligence. And the other book I have is called Braiding, Sweetgrass. It's about indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and teaching of plants. So I can't wait. I am so excited. Also, I've been reading a lot of Substacks still. So I have 3 Substack articles that I just wanted to share because I liked them. Sometimes it's easier for me to read Substack articles than it is to engage with these books because they're shorter. So it's kind of like watching an episode of a television show rather than watching a movie. That's how it makes sense in my head. Okay, so the first one we have is The Art of Being Unreachable. This essay talks about different hobbies you can essentially pick up if you're kind of that person who's struggling with your own self-identity, making sure that you have passions and hobbies that are outside of your own relationship. And I think this is kind of a trap that a lot of women can fall into sometimes, is just being really into their own relationship and not having an identity outside of that. Mind you, men can fall into that same thing, but I feel like women are a little bit more susceptible to that. So this is a good article to read if you feel like you're kind of struggling getting into things, or even if you're just like the type of person that you feel a little bit uninspired right now and you're looking for something to kind of spark something in you. The next article I read is Why the Brain Loves Pretty Things. This is another neuroscience article. I was talking in my last video about how I've just been really into neuroscience lately and learning about it. I don't know why, but it's interesting to me. Anyway, I wanted to read this quote from it because I liked it. It says, "Aesthetic experience is not confined to one part of the brain or even the body. It is a whole body event integrating perception, feeling, and reflection at once." Very cool. And then this last article is Where to Find Media to Consume Instead of Doom Scrolling. Obviously, I read this because I was just going through this period where I was like, I need something else to do other than be on my phone. So this was there for me when I needed it. I really like this website because it gave me so many different and diverse websites to go to. There's a bunch of websites about philosophy, society, culture, spirituality, religion, healing. Like, I feel like there's just something there for everyone. Very cool if you're looking for some inspiration. Moving on. So most people have already left the video at this point, which is good because I wanted to be a little embarrassing. The real ones are staying. Hey guys, it's amazing to see you here. I feel like I always talk about how I'm really inspired by music. And I'm a big lyric girly. I just am. I can't help it. I need to know all the lyrics to songs. I need to read them, dive into them, understand them, know the meaning, and then I get really attached to the song. This has happened to me this week. I have been really into Joe's song, Mr. Mountebank? Now I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, love the song. I started listening to the song on repeat and really paying attention to the lyrics while I was painting. And I did a whole lyric breakdown of this song because I wanted to. And then I was going to read the lyrics to you guys and then do my lyric breakdown of the song. What has this channel become? I don't know. But then I thought, Sarah, don't do that. That's just kind of weird. So instead, I decided, I'll just write about it and why I like it, and then I'm gonna read that here. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you guys want to listen to the song, highly recommend it. This is also my interpretation of the song. I feel like I'm probably wrong about what's going on in the song, but I don't care. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's just solely based on what I think, so whatever. I'm gonna read what I wrote. I wrote, "There's no room for patience or organic growth in the system that the song critiques. Corporations, industries, labels, and even mentors attempt to sell you on your own identity, defining who you are and packaging it back to you as truth. Despite wanting and achieving success, he never receives the clarity or fulfillment he was promised. The problems that existed before fame remain unsolved. There is always an audience watching, always an expectation to perform, to create spectacle, and to chase virality. As success grows, so do the risks and sacrifices, requiring deeper compromises and continual edits to the self. This song introduces the idea of a reprobate. I did not know what a reprobate is. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to read you what that is. It's a term that refers to someone morally unprincipled or beyond redemption. So basically someone who's just the worst of the worst, who there is no saving them. This figure can be read in multiple ways: a corrupt industry gatekeeper, the system itself personified, or even a version of himself that he had to create in order to survive. In the course, he begins to reclaim his selfhood that he was previously trying to be sold and packaged to him. by exercising his autonomy. By choosing what to reveal and what to protect, he asserts his values and resists being defined by others. He rejects urgency and virality and suggests integrity, restraint, and consistency is the key to measured success over time. There is a clear critique of hustle culture, particularly the pressure placed on young people to burn themselves out early. This contrasts sharply with the song's earlier climb fast mentality, highlighting how speed inevitably carries consequences. Throughout the song, both external forces and the speaker himself impose impossible expectations to never tire, never fail, and never slow down. These demands are unattainable and ultimately lead to burnout. And then this is like the only lyrics I'm actually going to read because this is like my favorite part of the whole song, but it says, cast it out, fade away, wish that I could wish my little wish away. And then in parentheses, it says, no, tap out for you, but it's taking everything right out of me. This is also the moment that I realized genius exists. So I was like, oh my God, let's see what other people are saying. And someone wrote something way more articulate than I could write. So I was just like, I'm just gonna put this in instead of paraphrasing it. They said, cast it out, fade away sounds like an attempt to let go, not just of ambition or conflict, but of wanting anything at all. The urge to escape isn't dramatic or heroic. It's quiet and tired, like hoping the pressure will simply dissolve if he stops reaching for something more, which is sad. But this whole song is actually kind of sad. It has like such an upbeat tone, but lyrics are very sad. And then I wrote, fade away could also be interpreted as erasing oneself. Without desire or ambition, you strip away what it means to be human. This echoes other sentiments in the song of rejecting what is human. In the backing vocals, you hear a no after he says, I wish that I could wish my little wish away, which feels like a reflex to me, just like by the way he says it, because even to stop wanting is impossible. Wanting is being human, having desire is being human. And then the last part, tap out for you, which reminds me of wrestling. I think the for you is referencing the audience that's been watching this the whole time. And the thing that is making him tap out is all of these problems that he's talking about within the industry, which is the inability to be human, pushing beyond your limits, and then also having to sell your own integrity. And then it's taken everything right out of me signifies feeling entirely drained and burnt out by all of these things. I can't read the next few lines because YouTube would just... no. YouTube would not like it, but I'll just kind of say what it's about. But essentially, he basically talks about watching your own art and integrity being exploited because you've allowed it to be exploited. The pain comes from being a spectator and not intervening. Something that was once exciting and inspiring is now empty. So the reason that I bring this up, and then I think that it's so interesting to me right now, is because I kind of was just revisiting my own relationship to success. I've been really lucky to have success in my artistic career, but like everyone else, I'm always striving for more. And I'm also lucky enough that I've never experienced success in a way where I've had to potentially consider compromising my own values. But I think there's so many people out there that want validation so badly, especially with going viral and being on the internet, that they're willing to compromise their integrity and their values. I think there's so many people that will talk a big talk about having those two things, but then when it actually comes down to putting your money where your mouth is, a lot of people I don't think would actually do that. It's also interesting because a lot of people who are at the top don't really want to be at the top anymore, which like that isn't a new kind of idea. I can also think of just like off the top of my head, another artist who talks about this, which is Lana Del Rey in the song White Dress, where she talks about feeling more understood and more seen in her life when she was a nobody rather than now being on this big global scale. There's a line at the end of that song that says, kind of makes me feel like maybe I would be better off. And better off is implying better off without the fame and the fortune. Anyway, all of this has kind of made me think that you never really know what's going to happen to you in terms of success, which is why I think it's really important to be very present where you are right now. Like, whatever happened to enjoying the fact that you do have nothing to lose? There's so much freedom and opportunity to play around and do whatever you want to do, and I feel like that's just really cool. because not everyone has that. I also don't really want to get into the debate here about money solving problems, because obviously money would solve a lot of problems for people. I think it's just really obvious to me that money can't solve all problems. There's just problems that will always exist within you. I think I heard this on the addiction podcast that I mentioned in my last video, but essentially it was talking about once your brain has something that it's been striving for, it does get this little spark of joy and satisfaction from getting that thing, but then after a while that satisfaction and joy goes away, and then you're on to the next thing. You're always going to be on to the next thing, and that's just a human trait. You're never going to be satisfied. In the podcast, the psychologist was arguing that potentially that was because humans were nomadic people and we were just always traveling from one place to the other looking for more food, more water, better shelter. Anyway, my point is, even if you received all of the fame, the validation, the notoriety that you wanted, you would eventually get used to that, making it not enough. You're always going to be looking for that next thing. I think it's good to recognize that happiness is temporary, and it's normal for it to be temporary. You don't need to be happy all the time. Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about, just girly things. You all know how it is. That's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to shop stickers and magnets, link is in the description. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.